Welcome to Being at Home with George. I'm excited to be here, and let's begin the way we normally begin by saying yes to life, embracing whatever comes up, and at the same time, generating hope so we can make wise decisions and we can learn from the lessons of life. I think it's really exciting to be able to do that. And I'm a learner. I like to learn things. And one of the things I learned this spring, I was reading a book called Assume the Best. It's based on Neville Goddard's teachings, and it's by this woman, Louise Cowley. And one of the things that piqued my interest was this idea of judging. When we have opinions and when we judge, it actually is detrimental to our development spiritually, mentally, and it has a detrimental effect on our happiness and relationships and being able to live in reality in a particular way. And so, what I'm fascinated about, because when you think about it, well, why do we judge? And what Neville says is we judge to feel more secure and more individualized, but it only results in making us feel more insecure as we are mentally separating ourselves from the whole. And it's my experience that when I judge somebody or when I have an opinion about something, it actually gets in the way of me being able to see them or feel them. It objectifies them and it puts me in a situation where I'm right and they're wrong or something to that effect. And so the idea is to notice that when I am doing that, it's preventing me from being myself and feeling connected to the other person. And of course, when I think about Stephen Covey and his book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about seek to understand, then to be understood. And he talks about when, think, when, synergize, and maybe we have two different opinions about something, and he says it may not be my way or your way, but we can come up with a third way. So it's about connecting and focusing on what brings us together rather than things that separate us. So this idea of not judging, and of course in the Bible it says, don't judge lest you be judged. And so if we want to keep the lines of communication open, if we want to get beyond this illusion of separateness, we need to stop judging each other and seek to understand. As he said, seek to understand, then to be understood. So we need to understand not only what the other person is saying, because it's my experience that if I see things the way that someone else sees things, there's a direct alignment in how I see it and what I do. I'll do what they were doing. So instead of judging, it's better to seek to understand and try to understand how they're doing that. But what I really need to understand is when I judge, it's detrimental to me, not just my relationships. And so the idea is to understand when I'm judging, can I create the space between stimulus and response so when I see that I'm judging, I can let it go? And it also requires, if I don't let it go, I may have to practice this idea of forgiving myself, forgiving others, and just really understanding that it's not helpful to judge. And if I really understand that, then I can apply the 4 A's, which I talk about all the time, which is awareness, aware that I'm judging, and then the acceptance of it. Once I accept I'm judging, then the third step is compassionate action. I can do something about it. I can let it go and or I can seek to understand. And then when I see that if I saw things the way they see things, I do what they're doing now. And it doesn't be me and him or her. It becomes more of, oh, this is the lawfulness of when you see things a certain way, you behave a certain way. So if you want to change it, you have to change how you're seeing it. So that awareness, that acceptance, and that compassionate action, seeking to understand and letting go, is really important. Then the assessment about it. And then when I assess it, I realize that when I don't judge, first of all, I'm not judging to feel secure, because when I judge to feel secure, I have to keep judging in order to feel secure, but it doesn't last and it doesn't work. So know the truth and the truth shall make you free. So when I understand that, then I'm into something. And so I think it's really important to talk about that because there's so much divisiveness and everybody has an opinion about everything and are judging each other all the time that we're losing our connection. And I know from my own experience that when I don't judge, I feel more connected. And when I understand people, then I'm not judging. And then they can understand me, seek to understand, then to be understood. And so this idea of how this works and how it's been helpful, that was really big for me because I realized I was judging people not knowing it and then wondering why I'm not feeling so connected to myself and others.